We went to, I believe it's the largest comic book store either in the U.S. or possibly the world.
It was fucking big, bro.
Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado. There's a few locations.
There's like 4 of them.
Their main location is in a warehouse district in the bumfuck
It's not really bumfuck. It's like 6 miles away.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
But it is...
The red lights were the biggest thing keeping us away from the comic book store that we went to today.
It was so fucking big. It was
it's huge. It's a warehouse. Yeah, it's just a warehouse.
And not like...
like a warehouse. It's like a Costco size warehouse. I mean, it's a warehouse.
Pretty fucking big.
Yeah. And then you go in, and it's, just fucking...
It's overwhelming.
Boxes. Yeah. Huge racks on the walls, which, like, some of those, like, I can't even see. They're so far away. I'm older. The glare. It's too many things. I don't know what's up there, but they look like they should be amazing. They're special. They're up there. They had, like, whole sections of, like, the old, like, the Bronze Age, like, super old comics. Well, I'm sure there was some comics too. There were these things.
I did see one with a fucking swastika.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too. And there were these things like in that. Did you go down the first wall? If you just hugged that left wall where all the old comics were, did you go down there?
No, that was the one spot I didn't go down.
It's crazy. There was a section on the other side of that
I didn't
aisle.
know that you were allowed to go on the other side.
I didn't know if you could either. I didn't see any signs that said don't go here.
They had employees only signs.
They had, but I didn't go in those places.
It's really weird though, because like there's like half of, or I'd say a third of the warehouse you can't even go into, and it's all full of comics.
Yeah, it almost looks like a smaller scale of where they're hiding the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, it did.
It was the first thing I thought of when we went in there, because it's just all these boxes that they put the comics in,
long boxes,
like archive boxes, and just in steel, like these tiny boxes, just in steel, all over the place. And then, like, there's sorting things for guys
drawers
going through
on the
stuff.
one side, or
yeah, we went to. I don't know. I just walked around. I was like, "Fuck it." They can tell me not to be here. It's not like I'm going to do anything.
I'm not.
But there was you had to have been able to go in there because there's no way you would have seen this. Because on the other side, where like there was the big wall of all the old comics, and on the other side they had their display case of like, even older shit.
Yeah.
And there were these things. I don't know what they were because they're behind. I don't know if they were books or cards, but they were like that, like almost 3 by 4 inch, and then maybe a couple 2-3 inches tall, and like comic things. But I don't know if they were like you took them out and you read them like cards, or if it was just really small comic books. I don't know enough about comics to know the history of like where
they used to have like books like
way smaller. They were like smaller than just flashcards.
I don't know.
Bigger than
see those.
Yeah, bigger than like baseball cards or something.
There was so much though.
So much, yes. It was fucking cool. So if you're in the Denver area, Mile High Comics is where we went. I highly recommend checking it out. There's a lot of empty shelves. Like in the book section seemed like it was missing a lot. Like it seems like there should be a lot more books.
Yeah,
available.
There was a lot of empty spaces.
Yeah.
But who knows if it would,
They could be moving shit around.
They could be moving
inventory.
Stuff. With Comic-Con coming up, that Mile High Comics is gonna have their own booth in Denver, and so maybe they're loading up a lot of shit to take there.
Yeah, it did look like they had like a lot of display stuff, kind of. Perhaps they had a stage, a little theater area almost. Dude, it made me want to like own a warehouse.
Yeah,
pretty much. It was cool though, but we were able to like, as opposed to the last one, which was also Mile High Comics.
Yes, you
could actually look through the boxes; they weren't stuffed super tight. Like it was set up good, so you could still browse shit.
That was my biggest complaint about the other one. Yeah, like every long box was stuffed so full that you couldn't leaf through anything. No. You had to like magically fucking pick one and pull it out and hope that you could like slide it back down without fucking it up. Yeah. Like, but
it's a nice setup. It's a good setup.
And being that I haven't, I know a lot about comic books, but it's like from cartoons, and I've watched a lot of internet. Like there's Comics Explained, and there's ones where like they'll read comics. I don't know, like I just wasn't into reading very much, and now that I've gotten back into reading some comics.
I mean, they're super easy. I mean, some of them, like this one, Tale of Sand, there's no real reading. It's mostly told visually.
Yeah.
But that's kind of more of a kid's, seems like, book.
But what I found out, I love superhero movies.
Yeah.
Not so huge on the superhero comics.
But the ones you checked out, though, you tried, like, new shit.
Yeah.
Like the New Avengers or some shit and some other thing. You should probably go back to, like, stuff already created. There's probably good shit.
I'm sure there are good
and it's going to be different stories than you've already seen in the movies.
I just didn't like the newer stuff that I picked up. And but
I've been trying to avoid the superhero shit.
Oh, and I mentioned the first time we talked about going to the comic book store, I picked up the Suiciders Kings of Hell. Yeah. And I liked it so much, and you read that too, that I ordered the original Suiciders on a hardback. It's the whole first run. That's
which I like that.
It's kind of a prequel. Did you read this?
Not yet. Well, I want to try and get. I want to try and get through. I'm about 2/3 of the way through.
Like I'm only two. The new one, the Kings of Hell. I'm only two books in. Yeah. And the next one comes out Wednesday, and I'm already hooked on that.
Yeah. That's with the Fight Club 2. I just got the first. Did I? No, I got the first two. And then I was gonna order the rest, and I guess they have like multiple cover art.
Yeah.
For each book, so it's like
that's how they get the nerds to fucking.
Yeah, I was like, should I go real nerd on this or no? I pre-ordered because it doesn't come out till like June. I just pre-ordered the book.
Yeah,
the hardcover. Yeah. So I can read all of it all together. But it's nice that you can go through and just pick up like a first, and then you can find out if you like it or not, and then from there it's not that much to get the book. I mean, it's $4 for a comic.
And the nice thing, like this book, I think it was, I got it for cheaper.
It is a bit more
for like
intimidating.
$20.
Yeah,
but the dust cover is covering like this crazy artwork.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say anything about what it's called. It's just like a random panel. If you open the back and the front, it makes for one shot. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like that
one's a cool story.
Late life nerd.
Cool
now.
Art. Well, and it's like they're adult. They're like not written for kids, so it's more complex. They can show super gruesome shit. Yeah, that one. I'm 2/3 through The Watchmen, which is good. It's the only thing that out of all the comics that I've gotten or reading that is superhero-y.
Yeah, but it's so
pretty.
I mean,
it's all about politics.
How much superheroing are they actually doing?
There's no fight scenes. There's no. It's all been like
it's like their personal lives.
Yeah, it's all. It's basically like
it's a murder mystery,
like
with superheroes.
Yeah,
retired superheroes.
It takes place
that might or might not even be that super. A lot of them are just
costume people. Yeah,
costume people.
Yeah, and it's like their character gets passed down through their family.
The one dude
like
is a superhero.
Yeah. Anyway, it's good.
Well, there's two that are actual superheroes.
Yeah. There's I don't know.
Adamantius and Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I said his name right.
Doesn't matter. Well, that's okay. Anyway, yeah. So that was the only. But most of them are like, not comic booky. Let me see.
What did you pick up today?
I don't know why I need this. Well, I picked up a few things after when we first went somewhere.
Yeah.
The first comic book, and I got so I don't need to talk about these. Negative Space, which I did get just the first one of. I ended up getting. It was only a 4-book. I don't know what that's called. Run. So I got the last 3 on my iPad and read them on there, which isn't too bad actually on the iPad. But it's a cool story. It's kind of depressing, the plot of it, and being only 4 books, it's almost like watching a short film.
Yeah.
But it was good. But that was one of the ones, and then the Fight Club 2 I'm waiting on. But let's see here. So I went back, and the Totally Rad Show, which we stole their Versus game, which is our flick chart game. They also did comic book reviews. So I went back and listened to, which I never really paid it. I'd like listened to them, but I never really.
Yeah, you were like, I don't really know these comics.
And they would review basically full runs or whatever thing. So and then I got Flex Mentello, which is another short. I think it was a 4-book thing, and it's super like. It reminded me a lot of the Stranger Than Fiction movie.
It's a Grant Morrison.
Yeah, Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely.
But Grant Morrison's the writer, I believe, and he's written, like, he's very well known.
Yeah,
like
that's why they reviewed this on because they were saying that it's
because fucking Grant Morrison,
and it's really referential to comic books and just the kind of imagination of it. It reminded me a lot of almost like Neverending Story and Stranger Than Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminded me of those, but more about comics. So that was good. And then Tale of Sand, which is Jim Henson, when him and a buddy, Jerry Hewell, I guess, wrote a screenplay that never got made into a movie. So they turned it into a graphic novel, which is not a whole lot of dialogue, so it's super visual. It's like a surreal kind of like you kind of just show up in the story with this character who doesn't know what's going on either, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like, okay, we're on this thing, and the crazy things that happen, just like that don't make any, like down the rabbit hole kind of a thing. The whole thing is like that, where there's no real, it's all really kind of what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminded me of like Warner Brothers cartoons in a way, but great stuff. Jim Henson. I would imagine if you're a Jim Henson fan, that's why I got it. It's like, well, Jim Henson, like that. I mean, it seems Jim Henson-y.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd see puppets there, but for sure creatures, I guess, or the characters. So those were both good that I got. But then today, I was gonna get a book, but I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just get a bunch of. Once I started browsing through the boxes, I was like, I'm just gonna pick up like whatever kind of stands out, if I could find first issue, that way I could start it from the beginning. So there's a few that definitely stood out just because my name was written on it, so I had to buy them. The first one was In a Blaze of Power, The Ray.
The Ray.
Which is actually a superhero-y guy, but, The Ray, and it was
a DC
made
comic from
came
like
out
92.
like 90s 92. The ads are really funny in here. There's a Game Genie ad,
and that's not a number 1 or anything.
It's a number 1.
Is it?
Yeah. And they had a number 2, but I didn't get all of them. And then Show and Tell. We're doing Show and Tell, guys. Show and Tell comics. This is what I got at the comic book store today. Okay, guys, this one right here is another one because it has my name on it. Street Poet Ray. Okay? This is what I got. Street Poet Ray. And,
which
cool.
I believe those came out years back.
These are, yeah.
Look at the back of the comic.
The dude, you got to see the dude. I think he's the dude that wrote them, which it totally makes sense.
Oh my. Late 80s, early 90s.
You see that picture? That's like totally this one, the black and white one.
Yeah.
Which is the cover of that one. I think he had that haircut.
Oh, yes.
So super, yeah, which makes sense when you start reading it because it's super basic art. And each page is a different little short poem. And they're written kind of in the same structure. But, they had my name on it. They're cool. I read a bunch of them out of this one. I haven't even started that one. But number 1 and 2.
We just got back not that long.
Yeah, we got back and kind of, yeah. And then we started recording. But, yeah, so I got those all with my name on it. Then I got The Dreaming special. I don't know if it's a special issue. I was hoping it was the first. It says number 1. So, I don't know. It looks cool. The inside art isn't as cool as the art that's on the outside. It's a Vertigo comic. And then I got 2 different Image comics. Sam and Twitch, which has awesome art.
That Sam and Twitch is Todd McFarlane's creation.
not Seth MacFarlane. Okay, just education.
Different people
dropping some knowledge on you people. I don't want you to sound like a fucking idiot.
Dropping knowledge with the Ray.
Yeah, dropping knowledge with
the
in
Ray.
A blaze of power, Ray.
In a blaze of power.
So Sam and Twitch, which look pretty fucking cool, and they are not like us, which also has a pretty interesting art style, different from the other one, but both Image comics. No idea what they're about. Picked them. All of these I picked 100% based on the cover art, because I couldn't even see the back of them. They're all taped up in bags. So looking forward to reading those. But it's cool. So it's like if I see, if I get into these, then I could I'll probably just see if I can find the graphic novel if it's out, the full run of it. Because I don't know if I'm going to collect, unless it's like a situation with the Helle one, where it's like they're still coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want that whole collection, just to have that whole collection.
It's like binge watching.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. Like, watching HBO shows is so annoying.
It's rough. I hadn't been in a situation like that in a long time either.
That's what I would compare it to. Like, now that society is used to binge watching shit on Netflix, buying comics has that same thing. Buying issue by issue. And it's harder. It's almost like back in the day when you had to go on IRC servers to find like the albums that you were looking for. It's just like, see what they have, and then like you can just download it. It's like not every comic book store has everything, although there is Amazon, which you can use our link, spiderstore.com/Amazon.
I've been using
buy all your comics. I've been using it too. So yeah, buy all these. I bought all those graphic novels through Amazon.
Now I found a little.
So yeah, you went through
like a nice little
got a bunch
find.
of Image shit.
Like I don't know if these are all reprints of earlier Image comics, because they don't really have a date, but there were a bunch of number ones.
But I would imagine like the $1 on there. It seems like the way they're branded and packaged.
Yeah,
it seems like how they had the Platinum series video games and shit.
Like the first one is all the art in these was really cool. It's all a little bit different, but Black Science, and it's a man in a spacesuit. Looks like he has ripped a frog creature's head off and is using it and its laser lightning tongue as a weapon against a hot frog bitch. When you say hot frog bitch up there, she got a nice ass.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's a butterface.
I'd still hit it. It was a
yeah,
nice.
She's a butterface.
Yeah,
that's what fucking brown paper bags were invented for.
All right,
it's
Black
illegal
Science.
to put a fucking plastic bag on a bitch, so don't do that.
This next one,
brown paper.
Lazarus. Lazarus 1. A lot of these kind of seem like cop drama or like future. Like in the picture of her right on the cover, she's got a bullet wound
Looks
in
like
her
a
head.
Noir kind of, or zombie. I can almost see that being zombie. Kind of.
Now, this one I really flipped through.
Now, with these so far, have you been buying them? Like, have you been able to open them up?
Yeah, I've looked through.
Oh, all of these were just they weren't in sleeves.
No, they weren't in sleeves. That's why
I knew
I was flipping through them, and that's why I bought them. I was like, I'm not gonna.
That's awesome. That I didn't even see.
I didn't see any of these. Like the first 3 times I went through there.
Guys, it seems like I like Image. It's kind of weird. We're just kind of figuring out what we like.
Yeah.
In a fucking warehouse.
And
of
if you're
options,
listening to this, and
warehouse of options,
you know about comics.
And you think you might know what we might like, not just what you like, and you want to fucking, like, if you understand our sensibilities and shit we might like if you've read...
And don't just be dicks and be like, you guys don't know shit, fuck you guys.
Marvel,
we don't.
Spider-Man.
East of West.
Yeah, which Izzy has recommended stuff, and I may or may not check out Preacher. We'll see. That was the one he recommended.
Saw a few of their graphic novels.
Yeah, they had... I mean, it's tempting. There's a few that, like, graphic novels I've seen... a few times, and it's like they keep showing up, and it's like I don't know, we'll see. But I might, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. But this next one, East of West, it's kind of
that like one I remember seeing the full
a Western / post-apocalyptic. I don't know. Cool. I was leafing through. It looked really cool.
Sounds like
I can't wait
idea.
to read this.
Do they have like? So is there any kind of Mad Maxy kind of thing since post-apocalyptic, or is it just like Western?
It's
like horses.
More like, I don't know, horses. It's more like gunslinger-ish guy.
Yeah.
But also he fucks everyone up, and so I can't wait to get into that. Birthright, and this one had like a real Conan feel.
Yeah.
Like
they did have a whole aisle of Conan.
Oh yeah, that was.
They had.
I can't
they
get
had everything there.
Yeah,
basically.
they had everything. Another one, and all these were like, all these image ones were $1, and they were all the number one. So, like we said, it's probably.
I mean, it makes sense. That's like the best thing to do. Go in, you're like, let's
because
see.
If you can't find a number one, why do you want to get into it?
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's like, see which one you want to get into.
Exactly.
You know, like, what am I into? Am I into a Western right now, or do I feel more like watching a fucking? And
now
reading.
this one, you said that they had a couple graphic novels.
That one's been showing up. Saga's been showing up, like when I'm on Amazon, or just I've seen it a bunch of places, and I almost bought the first volume because it's like a multi-volume fucking huge series.
Yeah.
And I almost bought, but it was $50. It's like, I don't want to spend $50 on something I may or may not, and I didn't even realize that you got it. So until we got back, and I was talking about it. You're
so
like,
you'll be able to check it out.
Yeah, so I'll see the first one and see if it hooks me. It's kind of weird though. Like I would almost need, especially like that. I don't know if one
will get you
is enough.
Yeah,
because it's like so much to like. Because they're so short, but it's still it's a good little hook.
This one I picked up out of the dollar bin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a DC comic, and it's called Fraction. And I don't know, I like the cover art. There's like a robot, a dude fucking holding a gun to another dude's head, another dude punching a dude. I don't know, this one out of all those dollar bin ones kind of jumped out to me. And like I said, I would rather get the first issue. It just makes sense. Who wants to read number 2?
Well, with my fucking negative space, I got the last one. That's
what
I
you
was
didn't
like,
know.
And it's like such a weird, kind of a vague, kind of weird story that it doesn't really matter. And I ended up reading it again after I read the first 3.
And now these last 2 are the only ones that I actually bought full price comics.
Yeah. So could you see either of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
These were all in the new.
So
area.
all of them you could open up and look at.
I opened up
all
and
of the ones I got could not. I went all just.
You probably
100%. I would have had to untape it, and then like from there, I don't know. I didn't want to fucking. They're there for a reason. If they wouldn't have taped it,
there was there was one comic I almost got, but it didn't have a price tag on it. It was Lost Vegas. Had really cool, almost looked like Ralph Steadman-ish artwork on the front. But when I went up to the front, he was like, "It's $15," and I'm like, "That was one I couldn't open up."
Yeah. And
I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna spend $15 on something that maybe if I look into it and see that it's cool."
I'm sure it's older, and like a value. The value on it's gone up because they had like just browsing through. Every once in a while, I would see like, "Oh, this is like an $80 comic just in the mix of everything."
Now, I've never heard of this comic book company, IDW, but Satellite Falling is the name of this one, and it's kind of like I don't know, I was leafing through it. It was kind of like a space cop with aliens and shit. There's this big like mole creature that this chick's facing off with on the cover, and it's a sub cover because there was another different cover, and I just like this one. And then Replica #1, which is also like space aliens and police work. I don't know why that stood out to me there. Again, it was another #1. I leafed through it. It looked cool.
Was that in the? Where were those at?
All of them, but the one I didn't get were all in the new comic section.
Oh, okay, like on that first kind of wall that we went to.
Like Star Wars shit's here, and it's
just past it.
Yeah, I
kind of the first place we went to almost.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Cool. Like where all the cardboard standouts were around.
I mean, they were everywhere. There was cardboard standouts. There was a giant. What was the dude's name from Monsters Inc.? The big hairy one.
Oh, Sully
He
and
was
Mike.
there. Sully was there. I don't
Mike
know if
was
Mike
there too, yeah.
Well, I couldn't see him.
His arm was off.
He was underneath the fucking... Yeah, everything seemed like just
Slightly damaged.
old, like, movie theater stuff.
There was a straight-up X-Wing hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
From Star Wars.
Yeah. There was... They had a lot of Star Wars
They had a
stuff.
TARDIS.
They had a whole Star Wars, like, section, but then there was Star Wars shit everywhere else,
but the
too.
Star Wars section was underneath the X-Wing. That was, like, the topper of it.
I guess that's true.
And they had a lot of shit. I can't wait to go back there. I don't want to go back there. Oh, Jesus.
That went all over my crotch.
Went all over your crotch.
Well, these are going to be stained chairs now. It's cold, though. Kind of feels cold on my nuts.
I bet.
Feels cold on my nuts. Well, that's why I opened it there, just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, good thing you don't have... Your comics weren't right there.
Yeah. No, it was all planned. I was like, this is probably... I didn't know it was going to be that bad, but I knew something like that was going to happen.
But I can't wait to read these and actually report back on what's good, what's bad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to... The poetry ones are cool. I enjoy... I'm glad I got those. The other one, the Ray one, I don't really care if it's good or not. It's just cool. But then They're Not Like Us. The other ones, the Image Comics look, and then there's some that you got. I was like, Saga. There's a few. But that's like that'll take up like an hour or two.
Yeah,
read through all. Well,
I've read the whole Suiciders and like that whole hardcover, which is 6.
Yeah,
in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's nice.
I want to reread that one too.
Yeah. That's a nice thing, man. You kind of go through it.
Well, here's the thing.
It is like storyboards.
Certain comics where I have to get used to figuring out who the fuck's talking in some of these panels because there'll be words.
Yeah.
But it's like another character narrating while you're going through other visual stuff.
Yeah.
And that to me, I have to, once I read through it and got to the next page, it made sense. But before that, like, I'm like, who the fuck's talking? Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Okay. And then, so I want to go back and reread it because I know I'll
there's for sure, on the Watchmen, there's so much stuff. And it's like takes place through different timelines and everything. And there's like this extra content that's just like novel pages.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any of that shit, which I'm sure it just seems like it's extra shit they added after the fact, or at some point they came out as part of it, and then they kind of blended everything together for this master collection of shit. But yeah, it's I don't know if I'll read through that one too soon, because it's like, man, those thick books, they're intimidating because they're thick books, even though you go through it quick.
Yeah.
But it's so
there are
wet
a lot
on my
of
crotch.
There were a lot of the graphic or the one-shot trade paperbacks that I really wanted, or the hardcovers.
Yeah. But
I don't know, like I wanted to dip my toe in a lot of shit. And, and I mean, for all the comics that I just showed you, I spent $17.50 or something.
Yeah. I spent $30.
But yeah, I mean, if I would have,
the ones with my name, they cost like
$3.
Shut up.
Which is cheaper than a new comic.
They were the cheapest ones I think I got. Most of them were $4. I got one of them was the special one.
Mm-hmm.
Was $8.
Yeah.
But it was like, it's special.
Yeah.
It's thicker too. It seemed like 2.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Dog, get out of here.
Go lay down. But yeah, it's cool. That's the thing. It's like, at first I was like, I really want to get like just a whole, because I just want to read through the whole story. But at the same time, it's like I don't really know which stories, and I have enough of those. Like I got your Suiciders that I still need to read. I'm still working on that other one.
I still got that Star Wars that I need to read.
Yeah, which isn't even. Oh no, that's the Marvel one. Oh, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, Marvel is.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks about the same as the Suiciders. Just a paperback.
It's like I think a six issue.
That's crazy that there's so much Star Wars. Every franchise has comics, even if it's not based on.
Dude,
comics.
I saw so many fucking comics
Buffy
for
the Vampire
shit that
Slayer. Twilight Zone. I almost got some Twilight Zone stuff. I've been watching Twilight Zones at night, the old ones on Netflix.
Like I saw.
I just saw
I saw Darkman versus the Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, Evil
Or
Dead
versus Army of Darkness, I should say.
There were Back to the Future comic books. There's
everything.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
I almost bought. Oh shit! What was that? The name of that hardcover? It's Blood something.
I don't even remember the one I was gonna get. There was one I was gonna get.
It looked cool, but then I couldn't open it to see inside it, and then I was like, "Well, then."
Same with mine.
Fuck.
It was in a plastic bag, and it had a Post-it note over something on the cover, so on the inside of the plastic bag. And I was gonna get it. Who was it? Frank Miller? Is that the right name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the dude that did it, and it seemed cool, but it was a thin. It seemed like it was only like a four banger, hardcover. I was like, man, I was just gonna get it because it was censored. I was like, fuck, I just gotta get it. It's like makes me want to get it just because.
It's like when the parental advisory stickers came out on CDs. It's like I want that now. Yeah. Like I know that it has good shit in it. Thank you, Chipper Gore, for giving me the heads up on which CDs were the cool ones.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and then it became a thing.
Yeah.
Then it became a logo for Straight Outta Compton. Probably maybe that was one of the first. I don't know.
I almost wish I would have bought that Deadpool with Josh Barnett on the front. That was only $9.
Right. Which was it like?
It's a number one.
Was
also,
it?
Yeah.
That'd be cool just to like frame.
Yeah. That's what I might get
reasons.
it next time I go back or whatever.
It's like
still
Josh
there.
Barnett and a comic book, and that turned out to be a really fun movie.
Yeah. And it might have been. I don't know whose run that was because I know Brian Posehn did a run of Deadpool, and that'd be cool if it was like
that would be cool.
Both. It was like a Posehn run.
Kevin Smith wrote a bunch of comic books too. Right?
Yeah, he's written some.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so if you have any recommendations that you think we might like, send them our way. Show.
And we'll read it and
leave comments. If you're watching this on YouTube or Vimeo or Facebook or listening to it, leave comments. You can send your recommends right there if you want.
Or just yell.
Twitter.
Yell it.
If you're listening to
in
the area.
And then just be like, hey.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
If you're in the Denver area, you could yell and maybe we'll hear you.
Maybe.
But just walk around town.
Just yelling.
I go down to Colfax a lot.
You should read this shit.
Yeah.